from CBS 4 News, this is Facing South Florida with Jim DeFede.
Good morning, I'm Jim DeFede and welcome to Facing South Florida. As more and more school districts defy Ron DeSantis, polls show the Republican governor is losing support among Floridians for his hardline stand. Now, make no mistake, DeSantis is still the odds-on favorite to win re-election next year. But there are some who think the governor could be vulnerable. Charlie Crist and Nikki Fried have already announced they are running against him. But take a look at this video from State Senator Annette Taddeo.
While Rome is burning and Floridians are hurting, our governor is too busy fiddling with his run for president. And DeSantis must think he's the emperor because now the Board of Education, appointed by the governor, is literally threatening to remove board members elected by the people of their local community for doing their jobs and protecting kids' lives. Is this Venezuela, Nicaragua, Cuba? What is this? ¿Qué es esto?
That sure looks like a campaign video to me. So is the Democratic state senator running for governor? The answer seemed pretty clear to me when I spoke to her this week. Why is it that you think that you'll be a better governor than Ron DeSantis?
Well, Ron DeSantis right now is not governing, frankly. I have asked him numerous times to declare a state of emergency. He's not governing. He's all over the country collecting money and talking about a future presidential run. How about if you do the job you were hired to do, which is be a governor? And that's not what he's doing. He's causing many of us, including myself, a mother with a child in public school, a lot of angst and a lot of concern about the way he's acting, telling big government, telling us in local communities and our own elected people by the people how to govern, what to do. And if you disagree with him, he's going to take you out. That sounds like the kind of people we have in Venezuela and other countries. That's not the way we do things in the United States of America, and much less in the state of Florida.
So you bid on my question, which means you are in fact running for governor.
I didn't say that. You asked me if I would be a better governor. I will tell you that there's no secret that I have been looking at the race. And in the last few weeks, there has been a tremendous amount of calls that I have gotten, not just from people that usually pay attention to these things, but from moms. Like I said, like myself, that are really worried and all of a sudden paying attention that it actually matters who we elect as our governor, and especially when they're affecting our kids and their health. So I can tell you that I'm not prepared to make an announcement at this point.
You're beyond the considering stage. You know, there's actually been recruitment of individuals to run for your seat in the anticipation that you will be running for governor. In fact, you've told people, I've spoken to people you've told that you're running for governor. So why not just drop the veil and say you're running for governor?
I honestly have not made my final decision. But am I very close? Absolutely. I'm not going to tell you that I'm ready to make that announcement because there are a lot of things that have to be in place, including the conversations that have to happen to ensure that it's done right. Because if I'm going to do it, having been battle tested, representing a Trump district right now, knowing that we need someone that can actually regain the losses that we as Democrats have lost with Hispanic vote right here in Miami-Dade County, as a matter of fact, and throughout the state, then definitely those conversations are happening, and I'm going to be the first one to tell you when that decision is made.
All right. Before we talk about Governor DeSantis, if you do decide to run, you will be entering a primary in which the State Agriculture Commissioner, Nikki Fried, and the former governor, now current member of Congress, Charlie Crist, are presiding. In fact, the last time Charlie Crist ran for governor, you were his lieutenant governor candidate. You ran with Charlie Crist. Should we see this? Well, how should we interpret the fact that if you do enter the race, does that mean that you do not have confidence in Charlie Crist?
Well, I tell you that this conversation has been happening long before either of them entered the race. And frankly, a lot of the phone calls that I've been getting most recently is because people recognize the need for us to have a battle-tested candidate, as someone that has won in a Trump area, that has actually been attacked with the socialism, communism attacks that the Republicans love to throw on us. And I've been able to defeat that. That doesn't stick with me. Why? Because I have a personal story and I actually can fight back those attacks. And I think a lot of people, including myself, are realizing that although it won't be easy to be an incumbent governor, that we need the strongest candidate that we can have to make sure that we are successful.
Do you give any credit to anything that the governor has done over the last 18 months dealing with the COVID crisis? For instance, specifically, was he not proven right his decision to lock down nursing homes and ALFs here in Florida, where they took a different approach in California and New York? And didn't we see fewer deaths in Florida as a result of what the governor did?
Look, I am somebody that's not afraid to say when the governor has done right. And many times I've voted with the governor on issues. So I think that we can be critical when criticism, it needs to be there, but we also need to say, no, this was good, or I agree. And there's nothing wrong with that. But at the end of the day, the voters want somebody that's actually going to be genuine and tell them, I don't hate everything about him. He hasn't done everything wrong. But guess what? They still need to make a choice between we are going to have someone that's actually going to govern and look out for the people, or simply for their political ambitions.
So you think that if he were to be reelected in 2022, that he would immediately pivot and begin running for president and therefore not do the work here in Florida? Is that part of the argument?
He's already not doing the work here in Florida. He's been all over the country fundraising and trying to, get more popular with a base for a future run. And he's forgotten to do the job he was hired to do.
So you've laid out an argument why people should not elect Ron DeSantis again, but what's the positive case for why they should vote for or consider voting for Annette Taddeo if you get in the race?
Well, again, as a mom with a child in public school, a business owner, a battle-tested person, and a person that's willing to work across the aisle when need be and actually get things done. Look, when you get elected to represent all the people, not just the people that voted for you. And this is something that this governor's not doing. And at the end of the day, I can tell you, I still meet a payroll every 2 weeks. I'm a small business owner. And the people that have hurt the most are small business owners. And I will tell you, the way he's behaving, let's even talk about the cruise ships. What he's done to the cruise ship industry is frankly criminal. It's outrageous that, that this is happening from supposedly a Republican governor, where he's trying to tell private businesses how to run their business, how to get them back on their feet, which in turns is not just hurting our economy, it's hurting small businesses that depend on the cruise industry.
So let's talk about some of the larger issues affecting the state. There are, as you sort of talked about, economic development. Would you extend unemployment benefits currently? Would you raise the amount that unemployment benefits? Would you advocate for that as governor?
I do think that the amount we pay is way too low. We need to be more an average to other states. We certainly shouldn't have turned down the money and stopped the payments before time was due when the federal government was sending us that help. I think it's crazy for us to turn down federal help. And for the governor to suggest that you can live on $300 a week is outrageous. He should try it. And it doesn't work, and certainly in many parts of Florida, including South Florida, it's not possible. So it's heartless, but it's also wrong. But at the same time, I'm somebody that is very cognizant of the fact that we do need more people coming back into the workforce, that a lot of women are not going back after COVID. And a lot of the reason why they're not going back, and this is something that I would work on, is because it costs more money to put your kid in childcare than it does for you to go back to work. So I think we as a state should be investing in that child care. And we should make sure that we have more early childhood education earlier in life, and maybe pre-K, which is great that we have, but it's only half a day. When you have to work all day, you have to figure out what are you going to do with your kid the rest of the time? How are you going to pay for that?
You talk about taking money that's offered by the federal government. Would that also include Medicaid expansion? Would you seek to try to expand Medicaid in Florida?
100%. I have been the sponsor of expanding Medicaid since I got to the legislature every single year. And I will tell you, I think it's crazy that we turn it down. And in the latest package that was sent from the federal government, we got an incentive to expand it. So it just made no sense financially. We're turning down money, and we have over 1 million people that don't have insurance because they fall into that called donut hole, where they are working but make too much but aren't poor enough, but they can't afford insurance. And the fact is, the rest of us are paying for this. The biggest expense in our budget in the state of Florida is healthcare. And all because, again, we're playing politics with people's lives. And that is not okay. Democrat or Republican, we should never do that.
Well, politics is exactly, though, what takes place in Tallahassee. It's the nature of it. It's not necessarily a dirty word. If you were to run for governor, and if you were elected governor, you would still be working with a Republican legislature. There is very little chance Democrats will make much gain in either the House or the Senate, especially with Republicans controlling redistricting. Does it not make more sense to have a governor who can work with the party in power than one who is outside the party in power?
After 20 or more years of Republican governors where we have not expanded Medicaid, we have not moved the state forward, we have not really increased until the voters increased the minimum wage. We haven't really progressed as a state for regular people. I think it's time that we have some balance in Tallahassee. But I will tell you, I'm somebody that has been in Tallahassee and has been worked very well across the aisle. I'm highly respected. And I think that is going to be essential. You're right. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy at all. And they are going to have control. But that's even further why you need somebody that knows how to work with them, that knows when to use the carrot or the stick, the kind of back and forth that we are definitely going to need in order for us to move our agenda forward. And for example, expand Medicaid.
The minute-and-a-half video that you recently posted online seems to draw some direct comparisons. It doesn't seem to. It does draw comparisons between the governor and various, ideological strongmen, dictators, in whether it's Venezuela, Cuba. Is that not overstating it a bit? I mean, Governor Ron DeSantis, you may not like his politics, but do you really equate him with somebody from Venezuela in terms of their form of government?
When you have a governor like Ron DeSantis who threatens to remove elected officials that are elected by the people, threatens to remove the actual people in these school boards whose job is to protect kids and educate our kids in a safe environment, which is in our Constitution. For him to do that, it is really exactly what they do in other states, and not in other states, in other countries. That we know of. And for the governor to have the audacity to come to Miami and talk about democracy in Latin America, but he's turning around and doing the exact same things that they do there. If you disagree with him, he wants you out, and he wants to be able to take you out. Right now, there's a court case about that. We'll see how that comes out. But the point is that, he doesn't also get to take away them funding. We in the legislature are the ones who actually pass the budget, and he can veto line items, but he doesn't get to say, I'm not going to send it to you because you disagree with what I think you should do. That's not the way we function. Again, we do have a constitution that he must follow.
It's interesting. When I watched that video, what occurred to me was there was a certain subtext to this, which is that in the 2020 elections, and even the 2018 elections, but certainly in the 2020 election, Democrats were often tarred with the socialist label, that they were viciously attacked on both Spanish language radio and in general as being part of some sort of socialist communist agenda. This seemed to be an effort by you to sort of say we can play that as well and throw that same accusation back the other way. Am I misreading it?
Well, I am somebody that has been very critical of the lack of response of my party to those attacks. And as one that was not just attacked as a socialist, and a communist, but also a terrorist sympathizer, and was able to push back with my personal story and how my father was kidnapped by the FARC terrorist group and all of the experiences that so many of us have lived, and how dare you attack us with such an attack. But when I talk about Governor DeSantis, I am saying you are actually doing what Maduro does. Removing somebody from office elected by the people is exactly what these dictators do. And it is not what we do in Florida, and is not what the governor should be doing.
When we come back, now that the Pfizer vaccine has received FDA approval, will more people agree to get vaccinated? I talked to the White House vaccine coordinator when we come back. Stay with us.